Okay, I'm told that I should be brief, and I definitely can't guarantee coherence. So here are just some thoughts in three categories that I followed throughout the day. First, some specific strengths of annotation that I see emergent in the field. It's potentially very, very useful for teaching. For showing the process of editing and of improvement. This is one of the most difficult things, to bring students into that conversation, to show students how to make good decisions about editing in writing, and I think that annotation has a lot to show there. The connection of data to data. So in terms of critical thinking theory, connecting data about conclusions with data about questions, with data about implications, with data about concepts. I just had a very deep conversation with Christoph, who's working with Hypothesis, and we're interested in how these concepts can be used to produce texts, not just in total, as in a whole article, but how researchers might work together on a more preliminary basis, sharing pieces of understanding, sharing a conclusion or a piece of information or concepts, and having a map that can build those insights together. The maintaining of personal data. So the idea that I myself might have a server where I annotate my own life's data, pointing out strengths and weaknesses in my own thought as it occurred from a very young age throughout education. That is something that will stick with me very closely, and I have many thoughts of how to develop some critical thinking tools and plugins for such an annotation. Some problems or issues that I noticed that were emergent in the conversations. How can we filter annotations at scale to find the best comments? We suggest that critical thinking theory offers a set of tools for conducting such an evaluation. So if the communities become more fluent in the use of those concepts, they will be able to make better evaluative moves by pointing out, for example, that this comment is the clearest, or this comment is the most accurate, or this comment is the most logical or deep. How to interconnect disconnected academic subjects. Problems in human life exist not within particular disciplines alone. Problems, and usually when we're talking about the most important, complex human problems, can only be solved or can only be resolved through accessing disciplinary insights from a diverse array of disciplines. And at the moment, most of those conversations are happening within particular disciplines. They're not connected. And so, as a result, we have important human insights that are not being shared, and dramatic negative implications that are resulting. So if we had better communication structures for sharing insights across disciplines, that's an area that I see annotation making a strong contribution toward. The idea of annotation, of course, has not been fully worked out, and there's been much discussion of how to annotate various items, specifically non-textual items, such as music, film, and video games. I'm confident that you all as skilled coders, can solve these problems, because I think that they are technical, and I think that they can be solved with deep thinking. But there are some problems that cannot be solved by coding alone. And this is one of the areas that I would like to challenge the community to rethink its conception slightly. And to note that in addition to technical tools for solving problems, there are also important thinking systems that need to be inculcated, that can't necessarily be simply coded into the process. So thinking about guidelines for communication, methodology of thought, and how to build user interfaces that guide people to better evaluation, better analysis. And Egocentrically and professionally, I want to see a powerful annotation tool for evaluating student work. I want to see a set of tools that allows teachers to communicate with students across the range of their assignments using critical thinking concepts in a way that is then networked by a system, tagged by the system, that facilitates the use of the concepts and improves the student learning experience. So those are the core ideas that I have gained, but in terms of what I can articulate now, but there is much more deep and subtle thinking going on, some shifts and movement that I still need to process before I can articulate. So with that, thank you.